In this video, we are going to do word problems on ratio, rates, and proportions. So we're going to dive right in. Number 1 says, if 20 machines produce 1240 printers a day, how many more machines are needed to produce 1984 printers in a day? So go ahead and try this one yourself. Did you get A? That's the answer. Hopefully you didn't choose D. All right, so as you can tell, the previous person chose D. It was not right though, because they didn't answer the question. So this one says, if 20 machines produce 1240 printers a day, so the ratio is 20 over 1240, how many more machines are needed to produce 1984 printers? So 1984 printers is some number of machines total. Okay, so if you solve it, x is 1984 times 20 divided by 1240. That should be 32. So that's where that D answer comes from, but that doesn't answer the question. So you have to be very careful. They could trick you right there. Right now we have 20 machines. We need 32 machines to produce this many printers. So we need how many more machines? We need 12 more as a result. 20 plus 12 equals the 32 needed. Okay. If 3/4 quart of lemonade concentrate is mixed with 6 2/3 quarts of water to make lemonade for 40 people, how many quarts of lemonade concentrate are needed to make the lemonade for 24 people? So go ahead and try this one. Okay. The answer should be D. Now, how do we get that? This 6 2/3 is not even relevant to this problem, so don't use that. 3/4 quart of lemonade, so 0.75 quarts. I'm just writing it in decimal. To make it lemonade for 40 people, how much of that concentrate is needed for 24 people? So we set up the proportion like that. Okay, so what is that? 3/4. So I changed it back to a fraction because I'm multiplying now. So what is that? So x would be 18 over 40, which is 9 over 20, and that's the answer. Okay. Machine produced 735 tapes in 5 1/4 hours. What fraction of the 735 tapes was produced in 1 hour? So try this proportion. Okay, this one's very similar to the previous problem. So 5.25 hours for the 735 tapes. I'm writing the units this time. Is how many tapes in 1 hour? Okay, that's the setup. So the number of tapes would be 735 over 5.25. Is that right? 35 over 5.25. Let me plug that into my calculator. 735 over 5.25. That is 140 tapes. They're saying what fraction, so we need 140 over 735. If I divide it by 7, that would be 20 over 105. Divided by 5, that would be 4 over 21. 3 is B. Okay. A 32-acre field yields 768 bushels of corn each year. How many more acres are needed to yield 960 bushels of corn each year? So go ahead and try this one yourself first. The answer should be B. So how do we get B? 32 acres, 768 bushels. How many acres? X acres for 960 bushels. So X would be 960 times 32, I'm putting this in my calculator, times 32, divided by 768. So x is 40. Again, this is how many more? So they don't have 40 here, but you don't get tricked like something you might have over here. So how many more? We need 30, from 32 to 40, we need 8 more. That's the answer. Next, length of a rectangle is 8 inches longer than the width. If the ratio of the length to perimeter is 15 to 6, what is the area of the rectangle? So go ahead and try to set this one up. Okay. So if the length is 8 inches longer than the width, so that's length equals width plus 8. Okay, so the ratio of the length to the perimeter is 5 to 16. So perimeter is 2L plus 2W. 2 times the length plus 2 times the width, because this is a rectangle. Okay, yeah, add up all the 4 sides. The two opposite sides are the same length. They're congruent. Okay, so 2 opposite edges. So that's 6 sides, edges. So what was I doing? So ratio of the length to the perimeter is 5 to 16. So length is width plus 8 over perimeter. If we rewrite it as length is width plus 8, that would be 2 times W plus 8 plus 2W, which is 4W plus 16. So this is 4W plus 16. Okay, that's the perimeter, is 5 to 16. Okay, that's my ratio. Okay, so then now I can solve for W. So that's 16W plus 80 plus 48, that is 128, is equal to 20W plus, that's 50 plus 80, if I did it in my head correctly. So this is 48 is 4W, so that means W is 12. If W is 12, then length is W plus 8, so length is 20. Area, finally, is length times width, so that is 20 times 12, which is 240. 5 should be C. Okay, and last one, 12 grams of coffee costs X dollars. Each gram makes Y cups of coffee. What is the cost of 1 cup of coffee in terms of X and Y? This one's probably the easiest on this page, so go ahead and try to solve this one. Okay, this is symbolic, so this is probably the easiest one. You don't have to calculate anything, really. So you can even use your units to help you out here. You want the cost of 1 cup of coffee, so it should be $1 per cup. That should be the goal, the end unit. Okay? So if it costs X dollars for 12 grams, and it costs, and each gram, so 1 gram, makes Y cups of coffee. Okay, so there's the units right there. Dollars per cup. Okay, so we simplified, that's just X over 12Y dollars per cup. So equals D as a result. Okay, so this is the simplest one. Really, you didn't really have to set up proportions, but I guess ratios, I guess these are the ratios, right? But I just thought, let's do unit analysis. That will help me out. Okay? How'd you do? Lots of common patterns here, as you can see. I mean, there's no surprise really to these problems. If you practice enough, then you should be able to set them up no problem. So if you struggled a bit here, review the problems one more time, see exactly where you struggled. Is it actually setting up the ratios or what was it, okay? And then, of course, try more problems until you are more comfortable with it. All right. Please like and subscribe as always if you found this helpful. And in the next video, I'll be doing, it's the chapter review. So more practice problems. So please look out for that if you're interested to get more practice.